I do have a color problem.
I see
I
everything,
see everything in black. When I walk at night, I don't see no neon light. And at Christmas, nothing for me turn white. I see everything in black. Black dungeons holding black bodies to be sold for a price. I do have a color problem. I come from a black womb, enter a black world filled with black devils doing everything black that was bad. In the blackest corner of my mind, I created nothing of color. My soul filled with devils, sowing seeds of ugliness. Black magic, casting shadows of past pains, ugliness prevails. Black as sin. Yet I entered a black flesh that conceived a black child who was taught on a black slate by way of a blackboard. I learned about the black market, bodies sold and action blacks. Money sold for more than its value. Yet, I do have a color problem. Bad luck keep passing my way by way of a black cat. So I write a letter and blackmail it, blacklisted for speaking about the dark continent. My mind like a sponge, absorbing, yet like a mirror reflecting. The rain clouds have colored the rainbow. I am the black sheep in my family. Yet, I do have a color problem. I see everything black. I remember them telling me black is not a color. Color is not black. Not coal was black. Black makes sense. Black make no sense. No sense being black, not making... I just have a blackout.
Greetings, family. Great lyrics to take us into this program here. And I must warn all of you all, that this program is not for the faint of heart. This program is for African people and anyone else who believes in righteousness and just equal rights and justice for all human beings. This is a place for you to be. If you believe that you love justice so much that you want to make a difference in the world and how savages go about treating human beings, if you want to make a difference, this is a place for you. But other than that, this is an Afrocentric program. We are here trying to give our people back their minds, right? We want to give them back their minds. And that is where our liberation lies, our freedom lies, in reclaiming our minds. So, welcome, family, to another day of reasoning with the elder. And as you know, the elder always bestow upon you lots of love and blessings. And we hope that things are better for you this week than when we last saw you last week, all right? And before we go on, you have to talk to, right? Our musical genius, the brethren have to just talk to you. So talk to you from the brother Bobby.
Well, I just want to say greetings and love to each and everyone. And Ella, I'm glad to see you in the studio because Thursday night, I get a text and say, boy, yeah, throw some legs down
It was a therapy, man.
In the living room. And a man called and say, careful, buck your toe up on the foot of the stool or the bed thing because I want hurtful feeling that.
I know.
Yeah, see it. No rubbing, nothing can take out the pain there when you lick your little toe.
No bend gay or no,
you have to just make it just go, take its course and just go on. Yes, folks,
yes.
Welcome to another edition of, The Elder, teaching with the Elder. And yeah, man, I play some Christopher Columbus tune because I get ready to celebrate the lies, celebrate the treachery, celebrate the condition where them have us under today. That's what I'm celebrating, the condition that them have us under, perpetrated by several folks.
Yes.
And Elder tell you about them all the time.
Yes.
So just want to lay back, all our vibes, and just listen to some teaching from the Elder, all right? Welcome to each and everyone. Chat room, nice nanny, North Fork man, the mat, bless up to everyone in the chat room, man. Love.
Enough blessings, family. All right, so we are here today, and there's a whole lot of stuff going on in the world. But, we have to celebrate our queens, not this monarchy foolishness that they've been trying to ram down our throat for hundreds of years. They've been ramming down these mass murderers, these savages, and when one of them drop out, they want us to bawl alligator tears and to, all them kind of foolishness and go down in sackcloth and ashes and all kind of stuff. And, no. Those of us who are conscious and know the deal, we don't, that's not for us. All right? Because so one drop out, others replace them. And the tyranny and the oppression and the plundering continues. It's been going on for hundreds of years. It's not going to stop now, all right? Until we regain our minds and we put it to the liberation struggle and find ways of moving ourselves up to a rightful place where we belong in this world. Not until then, it's going to change. So, family, I just want to draw your attention here to, I consider her a queen, right? She has done tremendous work on behalf of African people. And we need to recognize them and tell our children about them and our children's children. And I'm referring to our queen here, Queen Fannie Lou Hamer, right? I consider her a patron queen of Reasoning with the Elder. And I'm going to just say a little something about her here. But family, when I talk about our elders, our ancestors that have done so much for us, I don't mean for it to stop right here. Yes, I can tell you a few things, but we don't have enough time on this microphone to tell you all the things that these queens and kings and liberation fighters have done for us. Time will not allow it. So when I touch on some things, go on your intelligent phone, your intelligent college-educated and university-educated phones, and do some research. Go to the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture in Harlem, 135th Street and Malcolm X Boulevard, right across from Harlem Hospital. Go there and research. You can do all kind of research on just about every African that has contributed to our advancement in this world. So do that. Take your children with you and sit there and take down some research work and just study it and enlighten yourself. All right? So, family, I'm just going to tell you something about this great queen here. And it says here, maybe I clipped this out of a newspaper many years ago, and I kept it with me as reference. But this is just a little snippet of who she really was and is. It says here, quote, "I am sick and tired of being sick and tired," unquote. This is the epitaph on the tombstone of our Queen Fannie Lou Hamer. It was her most famous quote and a statement that continues to define a generation. Queen Fannie Lou Hamer was born on October 6, 1917, right, in Montgomery County, Mississippi, the youngest of 20 children. Her parents were sharecroppers. You all know what a sharecropper is. I refer to sharecropping on this station here so many times. You should know what sharecropping is all about. She began working in the fields at the age of 6 years old. And she dropped out of school at the age of 12 and worked as a sharecropper. And let me just interject something here, family. Because I try to tell our people all the time. Some of our folks might not say this is a African-American history and you from the Caribbean or Jamaica to be exact, or Trinidad and Tobago and all that kind of foolishness. But family, I just want to remind you all that when we were brought to the Western world, conquered, captured, and brought to the Western world, we were brought here as Africans. They distributed some of us to the Caribbean, Jamaica, Barbados, Guyana, Central and South America, all these places. And they did it with us as Africans. They traded in our ancestors as Africans. Our family was being traded throughout the Caribbean and the United States and here, there, and Brazil and so forth. We were all Africans until they taught us so, ingrained in us, that you're no longer Africans, you're Jamaicans, you're Barbadians, you're African American, you're from down south, you're from up south, you're from New York, you're from Panama, and so forth. But wherever African people are, we are related. It's our race, and race should come first. Everybody else say race first and mean it. We should say it and we should mean it. So I just want to tell you that once you're here in this country with the blood of Africa coursing through your vein, the history of the African experience in this place applies to you. Because the same enemy that we confronted and dealt with in the Caribbean was related to the same enemies here in the Americas and in Britain and Europe and so forth. So I want you to remember that. So when we talk about integration, the integration movement that Dr. King and many others tried, about integrating blacks and whites and Chinese and Jews and whatever and so forth, no, that's not the real integration process. Pan-Africanism is a real integration movement where you see your brother and your sister out there and the blood of Africa coursing through their veins and say, yes, we have to integrate among ourselves. That is where the real integration process begins. That's it. Don't think about another foolishness about a black man with a white woman and a Chinese. This, that. No. Those are just anomalies. You must cling to your race, cling to your people. Work towards the purity of your race. That is what you must do, and that's what others are doing. Don't mind them little misguided ones, it's them athletes and artists and whatever and so forth, and some of them black folks who get a few dollars and they feel that they want to purify their race by integrating into white folks. That's not it. We have to integrate among ourselves as a race of people. All right? So let's get that straight. So when we are here, we are Africans in America because the system that governs those who were brought here from before the Mayflower, from the first ship that landed our people here, they don't think any more kindly of us than they do of them. Understand me? So just remember that the elder told you that, because a time is coming where you're going to understand. The man is going to bring it home real hard to you and let you understand what I'm telling you. All right? That the same plan he has for us from the Caribbean or from Woodbourne here is the same plan for all of us. So remember that. If the elder goes through the ancestral gate, and I'm not here to see what is happening, remember, somebody should remember the elder told you this, because it is coming down the pike. I'm telling you. Okay. Now let me continue on with this great ancestor here. Okay, at the age of 12, and worked as a sharecropper. Good. It was work. She continued as a sharecropper after her marriage to Perry Pat Hamer in 1944. In 1962, she attended a protest meeting where civil rights activists had come to encourage African Americans to vote. And by the way, this past Thursday was our birthday. Okay, family? That's why I'm bringing it up. Good. Let's say, with a few others, decided to register to vote. On August 31st, 1962, they went to Indianola to register and encountered opposition from local and state law enforcement. You heard it say? Local and state law enforcement. So the government was in every move that is made to denigrate, discredit, and abuse African people. The state was involved. All right? Good. It's not just a few white supremacists decide that. No. It's the state. city, state, federal, they're all complicit in what happened to African people in this country and in this world. Good. Now, she paid one price for that courage and bold, the courageous and bold attempt. She was fired from her job and driven from the plantation, which was really a mild thing for a concentration camp, which was her home for almost 2 decades. But undeterred, Miss Amer then solidified her resolve to help other African Americans exercise their constitutional right to vote. Let me stick a pin there. I tell our people all the time that this constitution that white folks, rich white folks, landowners, slaveholders, white supremacists put together, it was not to embellish any other people but rich white folks. All right? Now, the Constitution, they made amendments and so forth. But, family, we can, I tell some of our scholars, legal scholars, when they want to quote to me about the Constitution and this, that, and the other, and so forth, I tell them all the time. I said, your interpretation of this white man's Constitution, which a lot of it plagiarized anyway, this Constitution that they put together, these rich white supremacists put together, our interpretation of it and the adjudication, their adjudication of the Constitution of the laws is completely different from us. We can reason like rational thinking men and women and say this is how this thing is. That's what it meant and what they meant and so forth. But when white folks sit down and they're going to adjudicate that same Constitution, they make those laws, Brother Bobby and family, and they do whatever they want to do because they can do it. Simply. So you can argue them all you want to. It's like when a policeman stop you out there and say you're speeding and you look at you think I say you know he wasn't speeding. Don't argue with the cop out there because he's the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Yep. Just pray to the God of ancestors that he just give you the ticket and you go about your business, you go to court. If you want to argue a little bit, they go into court and you argue, even though most time it's a losing battle. But at least the judge not going to kill you. Yeah. And you're not down south, so the judge not going to come off of the thing and bash your scully. You're up here, you're free. Yeah, I'm being facetious. The judge is going to listen to you but he's not going to come and kill you. You and the cop, you having to argue with this man out there and trying to prove to him that he's wrong in his his decision. No, don't do that. Don't do that, family.
Elder,
yes.
True story now. Got a ticket one time from this arrogant cop.
Yes.
Went to court.
Yes.
Got in front of the judge and I tell the judge all kind of thing. Or read out, see me speed and see me this and all kind of thing. So when my time for talk now, the judge said, yes, Mr. I know what you have to say.
Mm-hmm.
I said, nothing, Your Honor.
He heard it all already.
I said, so he said, why you here?
Uh-huh.
I said, I just come to beg some mercy on the court.
Yes. Yeah, show yourself on the court.
The judge look for me,
Yes.
And look for the policeman and say, case dismissed.
All right.
When the judge said case dismissed, the policeman, if he could have grabbed me, I could have pushed him gun in my face.
Thank you.
The man was pissed, mad,
yes.
angry.
Yes,
because the judge said dismiss.
Thank you.
So what you're saying is so true.
Don't argue with them out there.
Don't argue with them.
No.
Because if know him going to get a conviction, him know I going to get penalized from my license.
And you found out the halfway decent judge. You run into one.
I gave them no alternative. I say I'm here to beg for some mercy.
Yes, my brother.
On the court. Right. And the man said dismiss.
All right. See what I mean? So family advice to you. Don't argue those fellas out there in the street when they stop you and throw a ticket or so on you. Take your ticket and you go to court. The court is where you argue your case. You might win, you might not win. But don't argue them out there because out there he's the judge, the jury, and the executioner. All right, family? Good. So let me continue on. Okay. When she said, when they kicked me off the plantation, they set me free. She said it's the best thing that could ever have happened to me. And I think Gladys Knight have a song like that. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. All right? She said, now I can work for my people full time, said Mrs. Hamer. So it was at that moment that Queen Hamer dedicated her life to the fight for civil rights. She worked for the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, right? And in that work, she engaged in acts of civil disobedience to fight racial segregation and injustice in the South. During this period of activism, Queen Hamer was threatened, arrested, beaten, and shot at. And during a stay in a Winona, Mississippi jail in 1963, she was severely injured by the police. I saw that interview on Gil Noble's show. You remember Gil Nobles? Used to come on Sundays on ABC, Channel 7. It was a great show.
Like it is.
Like it is, my brother.
Yeah.
Great show. I saw that interview. And she said she was injured by the police in a beating so severe she suffered permanent kidney damage, right? And the sad part about the Bobby and family, the sheriff had two black men, two brothers, taking turns in beat. They gave them a blackjack and told them to beat this woman. And she said, the brother said, you want me to beat her with that, sir? He said, yes, because if you don't, you know what we're going to do to you. All right? And the brother beat that sister. And then when he was tired, she said, the sheriff gave the blackjack to the other brother and told him to do. The sister was beaten to within inches of her life. All right? So let me continue on a little bit here. She suffered permanent kidney damage. And later, Queen Hamer admitted, I was convinced that I was going to die that night. Yet she survived and did not quit the struggle. Right? And let me fill in this little part here. Right? She went on to create in 1964, she co-founded the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. Right? And I'm going to tell you why that happened. In 1964, family, the Democratic Party, that's what I keep telling y'all, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, throughout our history, black people in this country have suffered holy hell from both parties. All right? Now, the Democrats were having their convention, Democratic convention in New Jersey, Atlantic City. Right? And all the states are supposed to send their delegation representatives from their state to this convention. It's customary. Now, Mississippi is a place that maybe blacks are outnumbered or whites at the time are pretty close to being half the population. And they sent an all-white delegation to the convention in New Jersey. And Mrs. Hamer, I'll tell you about the power of one individual. A lot of you run around this place and say, think because you're one individual, you're one person, you can't do nothing, you can't make no change. Yes, you can, family. You can. You just have to have the courage and the commitment and the love of your people. You can make a change. History is riddled with many changes in history, historical moments where one individual was the spark that created a whole movement. You remember the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey? Right? Good. And now, she said this can't work. That's not a representation of Mississippi. And she set about getting black folks and white folks of like mind to create the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. And they're going to put a representation together to go at the convention. Right? It's trouble that now, family. Big time trouble. And them don't have no money now. Because, I'm bilingual, so I forgot Jamaican, I forgot, Them don't have no money to go to this convention. But, again, that didn't stop them. They had cake sale and fish fry and car wash and all, beg and borrow and whatever to put some money together Bobby. And they rented some little rickety buses and things, right? And then they rented some no-star motels in Atlantic City. All of the delegates and them, the real delegates, they went into 5-star hotels and all kind of suite and nice amenities that they were treated to, because the Democratic Party spare no money when it comes to the white people, their own people. But now, they made the journey. They made the pilgrimage to the Democratic Convention. And Johnson, who was the president at the time, got wind of it. And he said, oh, Lord, this can't be, because it's 2 delegations going to be seated from Mississippi. No, we can't have that. Johnson sent all his heavy guns, all his big hitters, to go up there to confront the group, to tell them, no, you can't be seated, because we have our delegation already. And you are not it. So you have to just skedaddle out of here and go on back. And we'll drop maybe a little piece of silver your way and thing, and not even the going rate of 30 pieces of silver. We drop a piece of silver your way and something like that. But you can't come to the convention. And Mr. Seymour said, like hell, we ain't going. And they send all the heavy hitters, and finally they send Representative Congressman Adam Clayton Powell, which to this day I still have a little thing against him for doing that. But he went to the hotel room, lowered himself, his standard, to go into this little no-star hotel room to speak to Mrs. Hamer, to address Mrs. Hamer and some of the top members of the representation. And he tried to convince Mrs. Hamer, Queen Hamer, that she can't be seated. Their delegation won't be seated because, that's not their... And so finally, Adam found that he wasn't getting anywhere with this lady. And so he's going to pull ranks now and class and all kind of stuff. Oh, he said, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? And Mrs. Hamer, Queen Hamer, just calmly looked at him and said, yes, Adam, I know who you are. Right? But I want you to answer me this. How many bales of cotton have you ever picked in your entire life? And another question is this. How many lashes of the white man's whip have you ever taken on your back? How many? And Adam knew he couldn't handle that. Because I know Adam, if you all know Adam Powell, is a man that could pass for white. Right? But he chose to cast his lot on the African side. And it worked out well for him. All right? And so he left out of there. And eventually they had to seat the delegation. And Mrs. Hamer, right? Mrs. Hamer was seated. And so I'll just continue on here. It says, in opposition states, good. The Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party she co-founded in opposition to her state's all-white delegation to that year's Democratic Convention, right? And in a televised interview at the convention, she shed light on the conditions. She have a platform now at the convention, the one where they said she couldn't attend. She shed light on the conditions of black Americans in Mississippi, right? And she went on and on and on. And those who didn't know what was happening to blacks in Mississippi and in the South, she let them know, right? The media and everybody was there, so it was amplified. Now, in 1965, she ran unsuccessfully for Mississippi Congress. And we know how that goes. Not that the lady lost, but we know how white folks operate. All right? So she didn't get that seat. She worked to help poor and families in need in Mississippi. Queen Hamer also set up organizations to increase business opportunities for blacks and to provide child care and other family services. She helped establish the National Women's Political Caucus in 1971. Queen Hamer died on March 14, 1977, at the age of 60. Young picnic woman, my scholar in residence remind me not to use that term, and I I apologize. Young woman, age 60, young woman. Now, Ambassador Andrew Young, then U.S. delegate to the United Nations, said, quote, and I quote, "None of us would be where we are today had she not been there then," right? And Mr. Samer, you should follow up on her. She has some writings about our comment on white men's raping of African women. All this sister, she left us so much. So family, I just want to pass it on to you. So when we have these ancestors that have done so much for us and sacrificed so much for us, we must remember them. We remember all kind of other folks that has not done anything for our people. They was out there doing for themselves, and they're icons and the this and the that. But those who have sacrificed for us, right? Those who have sacrificed for us, we tend to forget them, and we don't seem to understand our priorities. We don't know. We have a way of not emulating and bigging up our friends, or those who have fought and died for us, but we will cavort with our enemies, those who haven't done anything for us. You ever call my brother?
No, I just want to take a musical break and then come forward.
All right, family, be back with you right after this musical interlude here.
For real, all right.
I do have a color problem. I see everything in black. When I walk at night, I don't see no neon light. And at Christmas, nothing for me turn white. I see everything in black. Black dungeons holding black bodies to be sold for a price. I do have a color problem. I come from a black womb, enter a black world filled with black devils doing everything black that was bad. In the blackest corner of my mind, I created nothing of color. My soul filled with devils, sowing seeds of ugliness. Black magic, casting shadows of past pains, ugliness prevails. Black as sin. Yet I entered a black flesh that conceived a black child who was taught on a black slate by way of a blackboard. I learned about the black market, bodies sold and action blacks, money sold for more than its value. Yet, I do have a color problem. Bad luck keep passing my way by way of a black cat. So I write a letter and blackmail it, blacklisted for speaking about the dark continent. My mind like a sponge, absorbing, yet like a mirror reflecting. The rain clouds have colored the rainbow. I am the black sheep in my family. Yet, I do have a color problem. I see everything in black. I remember them telling me black is not a color. Color is not black. Not coal was black. Black makes sense. Black make no sense. No sense being black, not making... I just have a blackout.
Yes,
that's a great Muta.
Yes. One day we're going to get Muta, you know. One of these days we're going to get Muta, family. Yeah. All right? Yes, back with your family. All right? And I just want to say here, we can't go international now, you know. All right? We took care of family first. Now I see here, we're on the verge of a possible mother of all wars. Where do we as African people stand in the scheme of things? As always, we are the grass to be trampled upon. When the elephants rumble, we grass get trampled. No? On my Africa trip, family, in 2018, I went and visited those concentration camps that some folks call, you know, whatever names they want to call them, but they were really concentration camps. All right? And we had them before the European Jewish people have them in with their own the crime against race, white folks against white folks. That was what it was, right? All right? It's white folks taking care of white folks. Them two wars, that's what it was all about. Now, I visited all those places, family, and it left a lasting impression on me to see how these savages, what they did to our ancestors, what they did to us. And when I went upon the ramparts, where they had these cannons, those were the weapons of mass destruction of that time. Those super cannons pointed out into the ocean, and some of them towards land, to protect their cargo, their property, which was our ancestors. All right? And when I went into the gift shop, family, I bought this, I don't know if y'all can see it. I bought this slingshot. Some of you call it a catapult. But this was manufactured made in Ghana, right? And I'll bet you that the next time I go back there and I see any of these slingshots there, it will be manufactured in China. All right? Now, these are the things, some of the weapons that we had as a people to fight those sophisticated weapons that the Europeans had developed. I mean, there's something diabolical about white folks that they try to create more weapons of mass destruction, weapons that will take out more and more people with one swoop, right? Now, it's not enough to have it's like when they go to hunting, they have some sophisticated weapons that they're using on these animals that don't stand a chance. They can, for hundreds of feet away, they can shoot a poor innocent little animal, right? Who have don't stand a chance against these sophisticated weapons. And these are some of the things, and spears and so forth, that we had going up against these. And if we wind up with a couple of shotguns or whatever weapons we wind up, it is made by the Europeans. And here is it as a race of people with a continent to try to take back and to protect. We don't even have a plant that manufactures a pistol. We're not even having our children go to school to learn the science of arms manufacturing and all these things. We're not into that. If we want some weapons for the police force and our military or whatever, we get it from our masters, from the Europeans. All right? Everything we want, every weapon of mass destruction that we use to massacre our people, like the Tivoli Gardens massacre in Jamaica, and many other massacres, and the police extrajudicial killings in Jamaica and so forth, until this Chinaman gave the permission, Minister of Justice or whatever, gave the permission to his security forces that they can shoot to kill. As if they didn't get that command a long time ago. They had that command a long time ago, but he's now bold and barefaced enough now to come forth, a Chinaman, and to tell the security forces that when you run into those black folks out there, just shoot to kill. And if anybody is wounded and not dead, just leave them alone. Don't waste any time sending an ambulance to see. That's what we have become, Brother Bobby and family, as a race of people. I thought that with what white folks has put us through, we would become more humane. We would have developed or find some humane way of dealing or to treating our people. We cannot go and we cannot treat our people the same way the Europeans have been treating us. No, we have to find a more humane way. Otherwise, our race will be extinct in a while. Because if we are killing our race and they are killing us and everybody's killing us, so what's going to happen to our race? So, family, this is what I brought here to show you, what I brought back from Ghana, a slingshot, right? It's not even a nuclear slingshot, because even though we have uranium, so many uranium mines on the African continent, it is controlled by the Europeans, by the American, French, and British, and whatever. We don't control. We could even make a nuclear slingshot, right? So, family, we have to wake up as a race of people. That is why I tell you this is a program that is not for the faint of heart. This is a program that is telling you what is happening to us and what we have to do. You have to wake up your children. And I must read this quote here to you, which I did last week, by this this great brother here too, Arturo Schomburg, who created the Schomburg Center. This brother, he had a quote here that they sent me recently here. And I quote, "History must restore what slavery took away. For it is the social damage of slavery that the present generation must repair and offset." Unquote. If we can't repair what's been done to us, family, you can fet and ramage and party and do all you want. You're gonna fet and ramage yourself right into the gas chamber. That is what is waiting for us. But because we have this Novocaine, this thing of is numbing our consciousness and our soul. We cannot see what is coming down the road for us because we're busy having a good time. We are busy partying and fetting. And I want to let our people know also that some of these same activists that has gone on before us, who has fought hard and made it possible for many of our people to be here today and to be reaping the sweets, some of the sweets, a little bit that we are reaping. We can get certain jobs that we couldn't get at one time, or make it a few, or you have a few disposable dollars that you can spend to go to a fete and a party. All right? It's because of the struggle of the activists that made all that possible. But a lot of us don't realize that. They jump up on the radio and they advertise and they talk about this or whatever, and they're not thinking of who made it possible. As if the activists had no role in them enjoying the little bit that they enjoy. The little house that they have. They're not thinking of what the real estate business was here in this country, in this state. The redlining and the all kind of lining that was discriminating against people of color. It still exists.
Because just last week, a bank in Jersey got busted with that by the feds for denying black folks and brown folks approval of houses in certain neighborhoods.
Thank you, my brother.
Just last week.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
And then to add insult to injury, here the bank come up and say, well, we was not aware of it, but what we're going to do now is that we're going to open some banks in the minority community.
I see.
That is adding insult to injury as far as I'm concerned.
But of course.
You never want to give us the mark in the first place. Don't come do nothing for me now.
All right. So you see where we are. So again, I tell our people, you must sit down with your children and explain to them, you got to go into your culture, into your history. Don't let nobody ever tell you that you must forget your past and your history. You understand me?
But that is what them try to tell us to do all the time, because why you always bringing up them slavery movie? Why them always making it? But you still other people them. After last week, when I hit the road, the road empty.
Let somebody tell them to forget the past. Yes.
Monday gone again, the road empty.
All right.
I'm driving down Flatbush Avenue and half of the stores them closed.
All right.
And this is a yearly thing. Not a once every 3 years like when we make a movie. Brother. This is a yearly thing.
Yes.
And everything shut down.
Yes. If any of these artists think they're bad or think they have cojones, do some songs, some records, and denouncing them folks with the Holocaust. You forget your Holocaust and you have all these holidays and what you can't go to school and
right
and so forth.
They're out of business.
They were out of this world.
Bankruptcy done.
Out of this world, Brother Bobby and family.
Okay.
It just goes to show that our people do have no code. I'll give you a quick example. Look at how when the alphabet community decided that they have had enough of these fellows talking about boom, boom, bye, bye, and was this, that, and the other, and so forth, right? And they got up and said, hey, we don't want no more of that. This is going to have to end, right? And you see how they move against them, and that ended. But you have artists out there now will still sing using the N-word and the B-word.
And that is welcome.
Yes.
Because that is putting down our people. Anything to put us down.
Yes.
Is an approval
Thank you.
by them.
They have a problem with that.
Yeah.
As long as you're not messing with we.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. It's sad to say.
And I tell our people all the time, Brother Bobby and family, every ethnic group in this country whether they're black, white, green, blue, or whatever, there is a derogatory term that the white supremacists call them, refer to them as. Every one of them. I can tell you some of them, but it's not necessary. But, my brother, you don't hear them calling themselves by those names. No, they don't address each other as such. We are the only ones that even give the power to others to call. I've been in groups. We are here, Latinos, using the N-word. I've heard other people use the N-word. And we are using it too. But you will not get the Latino to use the derogatory term that the Anglos call them. Because why? They have self-respect, self-esteem. And they have an insult level. They will not accept it. But we accept it. So, family, that I just want to...
and you know, we're interject, you know, because I think Monday coming is Columbus Day, no? This Monday coming. And because every time somebody get up and speak the truth, now listen to folks, you know, every time somebody come up and speak the truth about what this man was all about, them get squashed.
Yes. Beat down.
And beat down because they're speaking the truth. You have teachers now rebelling against Thanksgiving. You have teachers rebelling against Columbus Day.
Because they're finally acknowledging the truth, yes.
But you know, something where you always say, you say it's like a smartphone, yeah?
Yes.
It's going to be the demise of enough of them.
Of course.
Because it's free.
They
you
don't know
can
how to
type
use
in.
it.
And as when me and Ella talk about, you know, don't take me and Ella word for granted.
No.
As Ella said, take your little smartphone, your little wise phone,
Yes.
and type in
Of course.
what we say and see what pop up.
Of course. And
Okay.
a lot of our people like to hate the messenger. No.
Go check it out for yourself.
Check the message.
Say Bobby and Elder are two madmen.
All right.
But just go check it out.
All right. Yeah. Don't hate the messengers.
Yep.
Check out the message. All right. So, this war, again, and Africa, again, is a grass, right? We have no means of defending ourselves, right? No weapons, no nothing, right? And we need the weapons that we are missing right now is our minds. If we could ever recapture our minds, we will be on our way to freedom. We have to first capture our minds.
No, so, you say, the smartphone we're talking about, good? I say, I think Monday is Columbus Day.
Yeah.
So I just type it in and I take a smart thing and it pop up right away. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Quick. So I don't
When
say,
in doubt.
I think. I don't say I think anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yes, my brother. Yes. I go on that thing sometime and I check something that I never believed would have been there. And it pops right up and tell me what is what. Right? So it's up to you now to cross-check that with other things and so forth. All right? Now, good. So now, you see what is happening with North Korea? Right? Why you think they haven't jumped all over North Korea and give them some Will Smiths? Just give them some Will Smiths all over the place and thing. Why you think they haven't done that? This man have something to defend himself. All right? And they know that you can destroy me, yes, but I'm going to create some damage before I go. Whole lot of damage, because I have some of the same things you have. And they're constantly doing research, and so we don't do them things. We don't do them things. We had this, as I said, we had this slingshot here for centuries, and we have not improved on it. We have made this a rapid-firing automatic slingshot. So it's the same old thing. You understand me? And I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I got to throw this in there. And I don't want nobody to burn a fire upon me. I remember some time ago at the Rock, the PG, President General, was advertising some brooms that he was going to be selling for the Rastafari movement. Right? You know the Rasta broom, my brother. Now, from I was a child growing up, Rasta has been making those brooms the same way.
Handmade broom.
Same way, my brother.
Handmade broom.
And my brothers and family, today they are still making the broom the same way, and it is not the most effective broom. There's so many brooms out there. that you can buy that is much more effective.
And can get into the corners.
Yes.
Them design rooms
Yes.
to get into the corner.
And I'm saying, my brother, you should sit down a long time ago, and the genius is among you. Look and see what brooms are out there selling, and fashion a broom that can compete with those brooms and mass produce them. But I said to this brother, if you're going to make those brooms, right? If you insist on making those brooms, make them in some miniatures then. Right? Make them, Brother Bobby, miniaturized. And you put the color of the Rasta thing on it, and you put a chain through, borehole and put a chain through, and you sell it as souvenirs. People can wear them as souvenirs. I see you do much better that way. But you have this broom that isn't going anywhere, and you spend so much time manufacturing this broom, and nobody can tell you that it ain't working. So these are the things that we have to check. That's why we need to have some serious think tank, my brother.
In other words, Elder say, move with the times.
Of course.
Move with the times.
Yes.
Don't make the times go away and left you.
Yes.
And you look and wonder, how come the boat gone?
How come
and
this
you
guy
stand up for the docks here?
Yeah. How come this guy is selling so many brooms?
Yeah.
And you just sell 2 or 3 for the week, maybe, and so forth. No! You got to study what the enemies are doing.
And bottom line, we don't want no problem, you know. But outthink the other man at all time.
Course.
Because what him doing, you know, him not worrying about you, know, him thinking how to improve him thing and outsell you and put you out of business.
Exactly.
So you have the right
to think.
to think in that manner to outdo him and create a broom.
Yes, my brother.
That is that's going to achieve beyond what him even do.
Thank you. That's the point I'm making. Yeah. Some don't want to burn the fire upon me.
Exactly.
I say I beat upon the body and so forth. But when we talk, Brother Bobby and family, we have to critique each other in love. We are doing it in the name of love because we want the race to achieve. I don't want to see my race fail. How could I sit here as an elder and wish for any member of our race to fail at something that they're doing positive and progressive to advance our people? What kind of moron would I be? So that is the situation. There's so many things that we need to be doing as a people, but we just can't see. I would love to see down at 12 tribes. We have a monthly thing where you can call in members of the tribe. You can call in Ballard. You can call in No-Head. You can call people. Just let's come together and sit down. Call in the radio personalities, all these big boys and folks with $2. I do have nothing. My little trade bag, I have just a couple of cents in it. But you have some fellas out there with deep trade bags. And we have ideas and things, but we don't have the money. We all sit down together, we talk and see we need a think tank so people can figure out some. You look at our community. Everywhere I go in this place, I see all these hot sheet motels. Is not we put them up, you know? In these motels, you have black men going into these motels to prove their manhood. You hear me? And putting money into the people who own these motels, these hot sheets. And it's not bringing nothing into our community. And these are things I want to see us progress. We in the diaspora, we used to like to talk about the diaspora. Want to see us come together and we can look at things that we have created. Things where we can put our arms around it and say, we do that. All these places who fete and celebrate and party, we don't want to own some of them. We don't want to own some of them, Brother Bobby.
Most definitely. Move with the times.
Everywhere we go, where we're having events, it's the places, the facilities are owned by us. We don't want to own some of them. What kind of people are we? If those are things that Mr. Garvey told us that we need to control our destiny, our economics, our security, all these things we need to control, and we're not doing it. So what the hell did this man come here and die for? Now, I see where Raw Soul asked a question there. And my brother, I can't answer that question. you're going to have to ask.
The powers to be.
Yes, my brother. All right? Good. Now, I notice here that Italy, family, you see, I tell you all, you know, we are an international people. Some of you might not think so. But everything that goes on in this world has a bearing on us. You might not be able to see it, but it has a bearing on us. Now, Italy has just elected a fascist government. And some of you seem to think that when you put a woman in power, that she'd be more kinder and gentler and all those good stuff and so forth. Some of these women, I'm telling you, family, they are deadly. And so this fascist here, on our administration has been, they won the election, they said. And I don't know how many of you remember all the problems that Ethiopia has had with Italy. I don't know how many of you know your history. There's a brother here, well, not a brother, but there's a book that I read from time to time, and it's titled The Third Reich. It's a book about Hitler's Nazi Germany. And when you turn a couple of pages there, it has a quote here from someone that says, those who forget the past, right, are, I believe it says, those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it, right? And that's not the exact quote, but it's pretty close to it, all right? But Mr. Garvey also told us that if you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence, you have won even before you have started. These folks have taken the confidence out of us. And so it's about rebuilding our people. Right? And, here's the exact quote, family, from this man. His name is Santayana. You can go online and check him out. All right? He says, and I quote, "Those who do not remember the past are condemned to relive it," unquote, Santayana. So I'm trying to remind our people of what the problems that we as African people in Ethiopia has had with the Italian government and their people. It was a deadly one. And I'm telling you, with this group of folks that is in power now, watch out, family. Watch out. And I'm appealing to not just the Rastafarian community. I'm appealing to African people all over the place. Because when they assault Ethiopia with their military might, it's it's about us, family. The Ethiopians, when we say the Ethiopians, they're African people. African people. Right? Just as though I like to talk about, we like to call ourselves Jamaicans, as I said. And I try to remind our people that to be a Jamaican is a nationality. It's not a race. There's a whole lot of bloodsuckers living in Jamaica, that they are of the white race, the Chinese race, the Indian race. They are all kind of race. And they identify with a national homeland. All right? We identify with Jamaica. We are Jamaican. It's not a race. It's a nationality. You are of the African race. And your origins is from the ancestral homeland, our motherland, the African continent. Places like Jamaica and Barbados, this great republic of Barbados, all this foolishness. They were designed to be satellites of the imperial powers of Britain and the emerging imperial power of the United States and France and Belgium and Germany and all those people. These are places were not created to be self-sustaining. All right? That is why we're so dependent on the largesse of the crumbs of the slave colonial masters. Jamaican Island place will never, ever be free because we don't have an ancestral homeland with the power to make moves that China and the state of Israel. Israel is going to come and be a superpower long before Africa, if we're still around then, if we become a superpower. Are we playing around with our fate? We are playing around with our children's destiny, our children's future, and our children's future. You have to wake up, African people. You have to wake your children up. The time is at hand. Time is not working in our favor. You understand me? It's not working in our favor. And I try to tell our people that. It's not working in our favor. So, yes. So, watch out for the moves that Italy is going to make. And Brazil, again, there's going to be a runoff election between President Lula, former President Lula, and this other scoundrel, this racist, this white supremacist fellow that's the president now, Bolsonaro, whatever it is. And Cuba is still there languishing under the boots of the U.S. and their embargo. Poor country just want to be left alone, given the right to trade and to exist and do. They wind up doing some things that I don't think they really wanted to do, such as this referendum that just passed here recently. And I know it's going to come back to haunt them, because they're going to find that these folks, again, as I keep saying, they're only loyal to their own lifestyle, not loyal to anybody else. All right? And Cuba will find out that they are going to be there as a thorn in their side. I'm sure they're going to want to hold political office too, and who knows, maybe you want to be president of Cuba, and then the Dali will smash up. Okay, so these are the things that is happening, and I want to say this year, this little thing I like to bring up in our program, this moment in African history / this happened in America, because they're intertwined. Okay, in this same month here, September 1932, it was the start of the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, in which hundreds of black men were left untreated for 40 years by government researchers. You hear me tell you all the time that the government is fully complicit in all the things that's happening to black people in this country. Y'all don't want to believe me? Y'all don't want to believe me? But they had these black men who contracted syphilis, whether, through, sexual whatever, or they assisted them in acquiring these diseases, because it's the same. You don't forget the indigenous people, the Indians of this country, when they killed off the buffaloes and so forth, which was the mainstay of the Indians. It created a food for them, lodging, clothing, food, everything, medicine, everything for the Indian. And the invaders knew that, and they set out to slaughter all the buffaloes to deprive the indigenous people of their livelihood. So they claim they're being humanitarian, whatever. They're showing their humanism by giving the indigenous people blankets that they laced with syphilis and gonorrhea and so forth. So when the Indians are wrapping up at night, shivering from the cold, that the skin of the buffalo used to shield them from, and they had no problem with that. They're covered with these blankets, which already had the disease of gonorrhea and all those things in it. And then, it hastened them to they have no defense because Europeans are gonorrhea and syphilis all the time. It's so they develop, in some case, an immunity to it. Right? Is there somebody on the line?
Yes. Call you live?
Yes, caller. Go ahead. Thank you.
Greetings, good night.
Good night.
Greetings, caller.
Greetings, good night. Great message as usual.
Thank you, my queen.
So, I was trying to see if I could get a contact for Brother Kofi, because there's a seminar that we're trying to organize, and I think somebody like Brother Kofi would be, that always call and give such great information as well.
Yes.
So I don't know if I could leave my number with you, and if you could have him contact me.
Oh, okay.
Or,
I'm gonna take it off here. Okay.
Okay, my queen.
All right, good.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Take care now. Okay, bye. Yes, family. So this disease was crippling to indigenous people. It wiped out a whole bunch of them because they were never exposed to these venereal diseases, syphilis and all. They were never exposed to it. The Europeans brought it there and destroyed a whole bunch of them. Which family? I have to throw this in there because I've said it on a few occasions. I'm going to say it again. I remember as a youngster growing up in Jamaica. All right? And when I used the first time I came into contact with these white men dressed in U.S. Navy uniforms. And I saw our brother walking at the head of the contingent and march with them down Hanover Street or somewhere around there. And I didn't know what that was all about. And one of my little friends said, let's follow them, let's go see. And we followed them and we saw where they went into this building, this place of this illicit, how should I put it? Into this house of this illicit house of I can't come out with the word. Yes. So I saw them go in, and then as I got a little older, I get to understand what was going on inside this place where this brother, looking like myself with the blood of Africa coursing through our vein, taking these men into this house of ill repute. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. These houses of ill repute, taking them to women that represented his woman, his mother, his sister, his nieces, his neighbors. I mean, I was a youngster at the time, but it was hurtful. So and then the next week, family, the next week, a whole lot of folks from the community had to find themselves into the government clinic. Into the government clinic to take care of, to correct what those white men has injected into the precious womb of our African women. Right? So, so that is what happened to the folks in the Indians with the blankets. They didn't have nowhere to go to get themselves straightened out, right? So they died. But at least those in Jamaica had a clinic to go to get some injection. So this syphilis, this experiment here, is that the government knew and the researchers knew what it was doing, but they wanted to see. They wanted to see the effects. Our people are always been guinea pigs, right? Everybody, from the British to the Americans, to the Germans, to the French, everybody wants to experiment. We are the guinea pigs. And I remember some German folks telling America one time, you can't criticize us because of our eugenics experiment and so forth. We got that a lot from you. You got it from over here. So, family, you must know your history. All right? So I want to just tell you also, we had a little difficulty in getting our foreign correspondents on. So we're going to have to let that stay for next week because I want to find from him the latest of what is happening in Jamaica and the problem with the land, our people being shoved off the land down there, and they call them squatters and so forth. When Michael Lee Chin, with his billionaire self, was acquired so much wealth off the backs of the Jamaican people. I will go into that at another time. But it is sad. But let me just say this, give you this email address, family. That's in case you all ever feel like touching base with the elder, right? It's reasoningwiththeelder@gmail.com. All right? reasoningwiththeelder@gmail.com. I am not all that technologically up and everything, but I do get around to responding to a couple of, so you can reach me at that email. Okay, family? reasoningwiththeelder@gmail.com. Now, family, we have with us here our scholar in residence, our expert on Africa. And so, my brother, I am inviting you on to come and to enlighten us with your wisdom. Welcome, Brother Kofi.
Hotep, the great elder, Hotep, my brother, our master teacher. Big up yourself.
Thank you, brother.
Every time. Bobby Channel 1, how you run things, See,
musically.
Music. Hold on. Musically and otherwise, all right?
Yes. I think that. Yeah.
That's why every day, right? That's now politically and otherwise, because many of us, we fear the word politics. It scares the hell out of us, right?
Yes.
But guess what? You see how human beings need oxygen?
Yes.
You see how we need sunlight and water?
Yes.
It's politics run things, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We are able to dialogue in now because of politics, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because there are these laws and so on that govern us and even our behavior and so on, and even if we are allowed to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one time we were able to do it, so politics run things. So and otherwise. To all the queens, Queen Angie, big up yourself every time.
Yes.
Queen Sadie, big up yourself. Queen Alma.
Yes.
Queen Alma is listening to us for the first time. Jean, big up yourself, Queen Alma. And all queens, all righteous, conscious African queens. Mama Africa, the queen of all queens.
And everybody in the chat room, my brethren.
Everybody, family, the viewers, the listenership.
Yes.
And this our sister who called, my sister, the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Bobby Channel has given me the number. I will be contacting you.
Yes.
All right, and our queen and our king man them too. Can't afford the king man them too.
No.
Because we not deal with certain misorientation, or we deal with the correct orientation that man and woman, woman and man, every time.
Thank you.
So this is just to show how this elder, the highest team we have this elder in. The brother was saying something, and he said a word, and he kind of catch himself, and he said, and thank you, my brethren. And you said you refer to me as the scholar in residence.
Yes, sir.
I'll take it from the elder and Bobby and others. So the brother catch up himself. And why did the brother? Because this same brother will correct us, and he has the right to do it, and he has earned it. And he will say, for instance, hey, careful you use this word lady, right, elder?
Yes,
careful you use this word lady. Don't just throw it out like that,
True.
Queen and lady and so on. It's reserved for our people, our people.
Definitely.
It has a value to it.
Sure.
And so on. So we, the African people, also use certain word. The N-word is the most disgusting word. The N-word is the most disgusting word in the English language to refer to our people. We're giving other people license to gun us down.
A weapon is a weapon.
To gun us down.
Yes.
And another one, so like when we go in and we want to go through with the family, we say, we go on this picnic, at a picnic. And then hence we call our children. They are our children, they're not they pick whatever. Why we say that? Because this great singer, many Queen singers we have. One such is Billie Holiday.
Yes.
And Bobby, I know up your street. Bobby, I know up your street with music. And Bobby,
man, for real.
Bobby, not just deal with yard music. We deal with African music.
Exactly.
Anyway, African music, Africa, the Caribbean, South America, anyway, North America, African music. In fact, African music run the world.
Of course.
Right? We hear about this reggaeton, a reggae music, okay?
It's a derivative of African music.
Right. We hear about Afro jazz and Latin jazz. Everybody have to take our music and put for them hyphenated thing on it, right?
Yes,
See?
yes.
It can't be just jazz. They have to add some Latin jazz.
Camouflage it.
And you have to say reggaeton.
Yes.
But when we hear so-called classical music, nobody knows that's nothing to it. We just say that's white music, European music, right?
Yes, yes,
nobody has attached anything to it, whether you know African classic. But yet, what do you think reggae music is? Classics, right, Bobby? We have our classics.
Every time.
That's our classic, yeah.
But other people just take things and just monopolize it like a film alone, right? So I'm saying, so because we have to
I saw an article this week where that guy from Africa, his name is Stone Boy. From Africa into the Afrobeat, right? He make a statement say reggae music belongs to Africa, not Jamaica.
He's playing the game, huh?
Well, all I can say about that, I'm glad when the Africans, we are African family, all right? Let me use the word fellow Africans.
Yes.
Yeah, because sometimes them are claim things I don't know if they claim. So let's because we say white people are claim the steel pan, right?
Yes.
Right? Want copyright the trademark the steel pan from Trinidad and Tobago. Those oil drum that used to be there and polluting the place, and these creative African take it and make it into a beautiful musical instrument, and we say these people go in for say are theirs.
And they want it back. Indian givers.
We see one from Europe. He said that he's trademarking hip hop and rap. Right?
Yes.
So at least an African from the continent is claiming something, but in the end, we are African people, so he's technically correct. He come from Africa, right? Okay, all right. So just back to this picnic thing, that strange fruit hanging in a tree. Billy Ali would talk about how they lynch our people. I would see the body just, swinging on the tree. And she put it in
the popular tree, yes.
And she put it in music. And so on a Sunday morning family, we know for those of us who have been Christianized, others have been Islamized, Islam and Christianity and so on. But one of the ways we are mostly so-called Christian, so-called because they don't practice Christianity, real Christianity. Yeah. So these white people, holy white people, would be in a white dress coming from church, and they went down to this park to have a picnic.
Yes.
To catch African people, black men, black women, and them, roast them, literally light a fire and roast them till they crisp.
Today they would say jerk.
And their children would take off body parts such as the male organ, the penis, and carry go as a souvenir. You understand?
Oh, yes.
Because it's a fear, it's a festival, it's a carnival for them.
Yes.
So that's why we don't use that word family, because that's where it come from. We can't say about our children that they are, pick whatever. They are children, they're our children.
Oh, yes.
So now another matter, I can sometimes give me an assignment, but I have to say this. Saluting fallen cultural and musical legends, icons, right? Such as Brother Super Claude, right? Super Claude from Afrique.
Yes.
So we add our endorsement to the role, the contribution that the brother made.
And you preempted me because I have a comment on the matter too. But go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
But what I want, because this thing happens constantly.
Yes.
This year, boy, it seems like it rough our people, right? From yard.
Yes.
We see from the two brothers who passed, Judge. Bobby passed earlier this year, and then the other one passed. Marcus Garvey, see what Marcus Garvey. Mighty Diamonds, family. Mighty Diamonds.
Yes,
Mighty Diamonds. Two of them got.
Tabby Diamonds.
Jordan, respect you. Yeah. Now, how much time are we going to go through these rituals? We have people among us. We not tell them how much they mean to us. And as soon as they shut their eye, whoa. For about 2 hours, give it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And then it's over, right?
I say that all the time that, I'm so sick and tired of, especially our icons in the business, them don't get no love, okay? Because everybody's running a race who to play the music first on the radio, that's released, and who to first to do this, and nobody's taking a time out to pay respect and homage to what got us here in the first place.
Yes, brother.
But as soon as them drop out, everybody jump on the bandwagon and playing the music.
In fact, sometimes them are pray up the people when they're not gone.
Yes,
exactly.
Because I heard like the Queen Elder refer to Queen Rita. Me hear people have put it out on the time that the daughter say, hey, my mother's still here. What wrong with her now?
Yes.
What wrong with her now? Right? So you're quick to put out if send something to the ancestors. But those who are alive, you're not taking care of them, right? And give them the accolade that they deserve.
True.
So while this brother deserve it, but everybody go kill it now, they play him now all over. So, and by the way, everybody saying that the brother was sick for a little time. So you all know the brother was sick. Why was you giving him his accolade?
Right, for real.
I mean, enough of this thing now. And you know, here it and Bob Marley and Peter Touch and D Brown. Not even Peter Touch, some of D Brown. Come next year, February now.
A marathon.
And Bob Marley to kill you 24/7.
Oh, yes.
For real.
Yes.
And then after the month gone, okay, let's move
Next.
on again.
On the shelf.
Next.
On the shelf.
Yes.
And so, Elder, I say it repeatedly that we need our own place, our own monument, museum, whatever you want to call it, right? Our own halls that we can have, like inside the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? Where the brother say, the African brother from here, Little Richard, he says somebody took R&B and dub it over and rename it rock and roll, right? Because black people music. So when are we going to have our own thing? In Jamaica?
But look how much things has been revealed. Elvis Presley, almost the entire catalog from him dancing, him took from Chubby Check. Remember the
Yeah.
Little Richard?
No, not Little Richard.
Chubby Checker.
Chuck Berry.
All right.
Chuck Berry. The dance and everything he took from Chuck Berry. Another lady just came up, I think, last year, and she had the original blue suede shoes.
Yes.
Okay? That she had a recording of it.
And his manager took it from the sister. Took it from the sister.
Without a dime.
He was supposed to do it for the sister, and he took it from the sister and give him Blue Eye Boy Elvis Presley.
Yes,
correct, my family.
So, but it just goes on and on, man.
You know, as I said, you preempted me and Super Claude, and but I still have to add my little.
Yeah, of course, I make your statement.
I was about to talk about one of the best way, if not the best way, to honor this brother, right? Is to listen to what I've been saying for decades. I've been talking to our people. And you can't tell me that we don't have enough money among us to do it. All these super reggae artists, the Barry Hammond and the Shaggy and some of these radio station fellows and so on and so. You can't tell me that it can't be done. I would like to, as I keep saying all the time, we need to have our own musical and cultural awards set up in Jamaica. As I said all the time, we need to get a piece of, preferably one of those old concentration camps that you all call Great House. Get a piece of property like that and set up a structure, build a structure that we can archive all the history of our music from the day they landed us on the shores of Jamaica. And we came, our ancestors brought the rhythms in their heads, the beat of the drums. Just recreate that. We have a university in Jamaica where we can bring the young people, give them work to do, to research, and to recreate those music, those sounds of our ancestors, and archive them in this building. Put up a building there that is a first world nature. We don't want a little pettifogging like they have done in Jamaica Institute. And then, one second, Virgil. Then we build an amphitheater, an outdoor amphitheater that can hold thousands of our people. All right? And we set up a nice, beautiful place. And we have the facilities there where we can teach the young children, the young people, teach them music, how to write music, how to create proper lyrics and so forth. And we have at least once a year, we have other events there during the year, but at least once a year, we have an event where it is a black carpet event in Jamaica where people come down from all parts of the world to come and put an infusion of money into the economy of Jamaica. we have this event where we give out awards to our artists with all genre of our music, from the reggae to ska to hip hop to dancehall to what we create those awards and give them ourselves. It must be a black-owned African control situation. Don't wait until Bogdanovic, with his millions of dollars, that he has created a reggae plantation in Jamaica. Don't wait till Bogdanovic take the idea and run with it. And some of you same artists going to be going down there helping this white man to create this thing so he can make more money off our people. And this is my idea for this event. Not some little petty-fagging little thing. We want a real world-class thing we set up in Jamaica. And we have the people, we have the artists, we have the money, we have the skills, we have we can do it. We can do it. If we really have the confidence in self. That's my take on that, my brother.
You see, we had a thing named Tamika Reggae Award. That was, as I said, black carpet, because I been there, was a part of it,
yes.
And it was up in Manhattan, Broadway, off Broadway. I mean, limousine side, you name it. And for whatever reason, it did not get the support it's supposed to get. And I don't know if bad management or whatever, but it fell apart. But I remember the years that I was going to that thing. You had to get out your best suit, your best attire to go and attend it. And I don't know the real reason why it fall apart, but it fell apart. Now, what I was going to say before is that Sister Carol, she went to Brazil. And she said they have a museum down in Brazil, a reggae museum. She said, Bobby, when you go inside there, I was speechless to see what these people have collected pertaining to reggae music, from ska to mento to the blues or whatever. She said, Bobby, they have it all in this museum down in Brazil. Okay? So, therefore, folks, as Ella saying, it can be done.
Of course.
Because if other people is doing it, we who own it,
the original,
we who
the originators.
It, we who is the, the audience minister of it, we can get it and put it together where it's supposed to be.
Yes,
in
Jamaica.
Our motherland, Jamaica.
Yes.
And set it up properly. And as Elder, he never mentioned this just now, but him say it already. It could bring in a lot of money to Jamaica, because people will be traveling, just like how people throughout the world, as you say, Brother Kofi, love reggae music. They will be coming now to see what generated this movement. You know what I mean? It's a movement.
Of course.
You know what I mean? What these people had to do or create, as Leroy says, back in the days, them never have the regular bass line with them have, It's the long string bass them man they used to play in a Coxsone. So show the foundation of where it's coming from. Okay?
Yep.
And that is what we need for do, folks.
So I hope 12 Tribe set about starting something so we can sit down and listen and talk. Or we can discuss these issues and see where we go with it. We have to start the dialogue, serious dialogue, and drop the fool nonsense we talk all the time. We need to sit down and do some serious talk as a race of people, because we don't have a whole lot of time. Bogdanovic is going to put it up before we do. I bet you that white man do it before we do.
From where I talk, my mind just go up on a tune for just address the situation.
That's what make it special, my brethren. Remember you something like you.
Say what's in your mind. And the reggae music we're talking about is what the brother talking about.
Yes.
Can everybody come and take it and go with it? Go
Yes,
ahead, brother Kofi.
Brother Kofi?
You there?
So, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah,
go
ahead, my brethren.
Cherry Rock, big up yourself. Jeff Charles, big up yourself. Chin and crew and family, big up on yourself for the contribution all is making. So, just on that, I conclude this musical part. I noticed some good music coming out. Well, good music, all right, but we will come again. Good music has always been coming out, but it has been suppressed.
Yes.
It is suppressed. So I'm glad to see Kabaka Pyramid and his collabs with such I think the album is named Calling.
Yeah, man.
Yes, yeah.
Bad album.
And such collabs with like Juna Gang.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Red, gold, and green. I mean,
Wicked tune.
that's what I think to make a thing become a hit. It must have a hook, right? It must
Yes,
have a line,
yes,
a catchy
yes,
thing.
yes.
And this thing is really just filter me 24/7. he has one with Bujo.
Yes.
He has one with Peter, Ancestor,
Yes.
Mystic Man. But I must critique that pyramid. You need to delete one line. Something about have money in a Swiss bank. No, we don't want the money in a Swiss bank. We don't want the money in a Swiss bank. We want it in the African Development Bank.
Yes.
There's a bank in Africa that call that. But otherwise, it's a beautiful album.
Yes.
Big up to Gramps Morgan.
Ah, that's my artist, man. That's my artist.
Who going solo and who have a name People, something about people.
Yes.
And the latest one about Butterfly.
I like to get the brethren on the show too, you know.
Which Ian Chin was the other day and they were playing Butterfly, a tribute to his father who was now an ancestor.
Yes.
So we give thanks to those music and those other platforms and WVIP who hearing these artists. Big up to them.
Yes.
Because they are there. And the sister who sing, I love you like a mango, right? I think she named Janine.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But the point, they are there, but they're not getting no airplay.
No,
right?
it's the other kind is getting the play.
But the jiggy back them. Me say it's elder, because you African. Jiggy back them now. Get it, right? Right. Then get 100 likes and them a superstar. They start referring to themselves what them superstar foot, right? Right. They start referring to themselves as super. And yes, family within the family. So a group of them for the longest while. The ruling class don't like reggae music, right? The ruling class in a yard do not like reggae music.
They like the profits. They like
do
the
not like
profits
rock
from
steady.
it.
They don't like, and they have done everything to suppress it, but they can't suppress it. So what they do? They try to get even other music, fellow music, like they come in and out, right? For instance, they have some before the COVID. I think they have some jazz thing at Jamaica every year, right? Right. Then they had Huey used to have this carnival thing.
Yes.
And all that was to get with a festival. Listen, we want to make them know that we know what they're doing. Okay, we want to make them know. And so, carnival now can wine from Huey, Alva Kingston, and play till 10 a.m. in the morning. No problem. But once reggae music, that you have the nice abatement talking about, I take reggae music, right, to shut down.
Yes.
So I notice this trend now, all of a sudden now, soca now, because it's Caribbean music, yes, soca now is all over the place. Nothing progressive. No. Nothing progressive.
No.
Right? So what they're doing now, the soca and the so-called, by the way, there is no genre music on dancehall. There is no genre music called on dancehall. There's a man can sing in a dancehall, and Buju can't say that, right? Whether DJ are singing is a place of music play. There's no genre. Anyhow, they start this dancehall thing, right? And so now they're using that to counter the real reggae music.
Yes.
Right. And then we have the just pure wind up and dancing. And now, my genre of music is calypso, okay?
Yes.
Calypso.
Yes.
Right? But they don't want no calypso, they want, by the way, soca family means soul calypso, right? Talk about the bass of Bobby, they hear this kind of boom, 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 boom. Right? I'm certain that the people are creative in Trinidad and Tobago and the rest of the world to make the same soca with some beautiful lyrics.
Of course.
Right? They must have their Gramps Morgan, their Kabaka Pyramid, and that. They must have some conscious people that can make some really good music. Because the people them used to, the Sparrows them and the Lord Kitcheners them and Arrow and Shadow, they used to make good music with calypso. But it's what the system pushing a certain type or people to dumb our people down.
Yes, my brother. So, we have our work cut out for us. I don't know if the younger generation is up to it, because this is about them.
Well, you see one thing with the church and Islam. These are they're called institutions. That's what they're called, institutions. That's why you have Sunday school, right? That's why you have Sunday school. That's why I spoke about earlier. You have the Democratic Party and the Republican, and by the way, they have the Young Republican Club.
Oh yes.
They have the Young Democratic Club. In other words, they're constantly training the next generation.
Yes.
Are we doing that?
No.
Are we the elder, the Pan-Africanists, the black nationalists, Rastafari, and all the black conscious people? Do we have something for you know people? I would like to know, like Chronix, a young Rast. I'd like to know how he became a Rast, and if you just listen to hear some music, because basically most of Rastafari, a lot of people is through the music and they introduce to Rastafari. Mm-hmm. They don't have a place like how the Muslims, like how the so-called Jews can go to their yeshivas, right? They have their yeshivas, they have the bar mitzvah, and so on and so forth, and then young then come up. Yes. The Sunday school people have their Sabbath school and then Sunday school and then train them. Where do we have for the youth them? Mm-hmm. So youth are out there just let loose. You see the behavior of the youth? Yes. You see what's happening to them?
Yes.
Do you see the youth them in Jamaica, the one that take up say the whole family, you see what's happening to them? Confuse youths.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When they get training from social media, yes. Is that them parents now?
Yes.
So we have our job cut out for it. We the hell who will stay here forever. But we're the next crop of young African conscious people. We have to work on that.
Thank you.
The elder Rastafari, right? The elder Pan-Africanist, black nationalists, black culture. We have to reach to this generation. Yes. Right? Otherwise somebody's not gonna reach them.
Yes. You know,
the military. Yes, elder. Proceed, bro.
Last night I was passing a supermarket over there in Queens. And big supermarket, not owned by us, owned by other people.
What is owned by us? What we are owned by us?
And there was a small gathering out there, my brother, with microphones and some folks was just putting down some sermons and so forth. Now they're right in front of the supermarket that it is owned by others. They are in our community, taking money out of our community and doing well. And they're in front of this, right by the supermarket, and they are preparing our people to go to heaven.
When them dead?
Yes, my brother. Yet they're not talking about economics and coming together as a race of people and seeing how we can counteract some of these supermarkets and things that's in our community and big giant laundromats and sucking all this money out of our community. They are preparing them for the
next life. For the next life.
Yes.
But Bob Marley and Peter Church answer that about get up, stand up and so on and so on against that. About preacher man in the sky to tell me about your God and so on.
I always tell my audience, I say right as so is heaven.
Of course.
Of course.
Develop it. Live good, live to the maximum.
And the white folks know yourself.
That? Well, Bobby, elder, pray me. Well, what's these white preachers? As for the black preachers, them. Look, my jet plane is 70 million. What, you want us? You know, we tell about heaven preacher? No, absolutely not. I'm living heaven right now.
You want to show me right, yes or no?
Okay.
Well, my brother,
we're wait for dead and go to heaven.
Yes. You know, we're up against the clock, so now you have to just give us your...
Well, we just want to remind the family, remind our family, I have to remind you about these, remind you about the two bills.
Yes.
Can't go for that. One against Ethiopia.
Yes.
Right? HR 6600, the so-called Ethiopian Peace, Democracy and Civilization Act, yes. Which is in the U.S. Congress, in the House of Representatives. Yes. Promoted by one Tom Alansky, a white man, a white congressman, supported by a black man, a black congressman from Queens, called Gregory Meeks. And Gregory Meeks has one also called HR 7311, Countering Malign Russian Activities in Africa Act. Mm-hmm. That means that Africans have the right to trade with what they want to trade with, their children. So we must come out against those bills. We can by the second bill also, unfortunately, by Congressman Meeks again, right? So we need to hold these so-called representatives of us accountable, because no so-called Jewish or LGBT or Arab could have ever dare go in at the House of Representatives and put an the bill against them. It couldn't happen. Okay, so we better. And as usual, while we're taking care of business out here, we have to take care of Africa. Reparation and repatriation is a must.
Yes, my brother.
And we say Africa first every time. And we say Africa for the Africans that women abroad. And we say repatriation is a must, right?
Bless up.
Marcus Garvey, we say every time. And Pan-Africanism, we say every time. Bless up, family.
Yes, sir.
Bless up, man. What good virgin love.
Every time.
Yes, sir. I don't know if I have a chance to just say.
Go ahead.
Good. Yeah, family, you know, it's a while now I haven't done this preamble here on Jamaica. And I like to remind you all that Jamaica, in light of what is happening lately about the land, people being dispossessed from land in Jamaica, and they call them squatters and all that kind of foolishness. Now you have here, land Jamaica, land of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, Queen Nanny of the Maroons, the home of the landless, other great ancestors, curfews, Zoysa, reggae, tourism, politics, and this unholy alliance with the private sector, crime, corruption in high and low places, international mining exploitation, vast inequities, scoundrels, extrajudicial killings, a rising and lingering COVID-19 infection rate, the Uber Corporation, and a majority of our people running from their African identity and suffering through it all and trying against all odds to survive. Jamaica, land of our birth, land we love. Yes, family, until we meet again next week, stay healthy, stay good, stay conscious, and spread the word. Okay, family? So, Brother Bobby and I are going to be signing off until
next week. Same time, same Big Bad Station. Right, yes, man. Tell a friend, Song Chat. Up next is Iron Vice and Sherry and Chin and the crew and everybody. Big up to Yosh. We always make sure that everything is right, man. Very important, brethren. Because you have to have a master engineer to make everything work.
Of course.
All right? What good, folks? See you tomorrow? Yeah. Rewind Sundays. Yeah, man, from 6 until 8 o'clock. But don't wait until 6 and 8 o'clock. You know. Log on from in the morning because it's Isla Bash from morning till night. All right? What good. Love you now.